Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Laurie. I started this video with intent to have the real-time voice on it, but I messed it up so bad during editing that I just scratched all the voice and I'm just going to do a voiceover. So since I had to scrub the audio, the original audio, I'll try to remember what I talked about. What you see on the screen right now is just a journal page that I've been trying to work on for a few weeks, and I cannot figure out what to do with it, and I keep starting it and stopping it and starting it and stopping it, so I'm just clearing it off my table. And underneath that was a piece of drop paper. This is a drop paper I'm done using right now, and this is one that's finished too. And I was explaining how I loved this one, and the other one I don't love as much, so I'll have to do some tweaking on it. But we need new newsprint, and I used that to create papers for collage because I like the texture and the thickness of it. So I was explaining how I create my papers, like cleaning off my brushes, cleaning off my stencils, things like that, and the lightweightness of it and how it's easy to collage. And here I'm showing you the newsprint that I use. It's a 14 by 17 piece of paper and it's 32 pounds, very lightweight and fun to use. So we're having a thunderstorm now, so the audio for this video has just given me trouble because now the dogs are going to whine. You hear whining, they are fine, they just don't like the storm. Let's just have a party here and make all kinds of noise. That's one big sheet of watercolor paper. I have my no-no line on there. I was just explaining that I use that for drop paper too, and that I doodle on it and have fun and play, and then eventually we'll cover it up and we'll make something out of that paper. And by the way, the no-no line is just a line to help keep me in frame. If I go too far up above that line, you can't see what I'm doing. So the papers that I'm bringing in here, there's a group of papers that I created videos with you called Making Papers Part 1, 2, and 3, and I forget what other names I put on it. But that stack that I'm flipping through right now is videos that you have available to you. Some of those papers I wanted to continue creating on, so I made a fourth video, and it is going to be a bonus video. And so if you are on my email list, the next time an email goes out, you will receive the link for that video. That is my way of saying thank you to those people who've signed up for my email and who stay on the list. I like to occasionally give a free bonus gift to you. There is no set schedule for sending emails. I send more when something's going on, like workshops. There are a few going on right now, and there's a couple more coming up, so you'll hear from me more often. And if you miss the links because you signed up after the email went out, you just have to wait for the next email to go out and the gift link will be there again. So I've started flipping through these papers. These are the ones that were created in the bonus video that will go out to my email list subscribers. And I'm just giving you an idea what the papers look like. That's an envelope, and I think I'll make it a journal cover. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about a workshop that's coming up. There is a workshop starting on September 1st. It is a free workshop. It is called Who Do You Say I Am? And we talk about the names of God. And it is put on by Jen Allward. And you can upgrade if you want to get lifetime access. If you do that, you will get 6 bonus lessons, and you can do that until September 1st, so anytime up to then. And there's a free gift offering for this workshop that I've offered, and I'm pretty sure the other teachers have too, but I don't want to speak for them. I really don't know what everybody else has done, but I know that I offer a free gift. And it is a different free gift offering than previous workshops that I've done. It is also different from the free gift offering that I offer on my website for signing up for my newsletter. So when you sign up for my newsletter, you get a free gift, and then after that, when an email goes out, you get a link to more free gifts. And I'm going to provide all the links that you need in the description box below, so be sure to look there for anything that you have questions about or want to look more into. So we're coming to the end of the pile of papers that we made in the bonus video. And the ones that are black and white, oh, I love that paper. I didn't think I'd like that paper, but I love it. Those doodle papers right there, I did not make those in the video. Those are just papers I created while I was on the phone with someone and they got stuck in the pile. So let's talk about what we're going to do in today's video. In my hand is a printable. That printable is the first free gift that I sent out to my email subscribers. I made a few changes to the printable, so some of the stuff you see here won't be in the printable for you. Like I took off the words 8 pieces, so that won't be on your printable. But those 3 sheets right there, that should be your printable. If you missed the printable because you weren't on the email list or you didn't open your email, you'll just have to wait for the next email to go out and the link will be there. These are extra papers. These were test papers that I was doing. These are not part of your printable. They are just extra papers where I was testing out the printer and the colors and shapes and things like that. So I'm showing you the other supplies I'm going to use. I've got some stickers and I've got some little ephemera pieces and things like that. I don't usually use a lot of that stuff, but we're going to use it today. I had been wanting to create in a smaller size journal, so I was just going to grab a 3x5 type size from the store, and I saw these online and I thought, well, shoot, why not get 24? So I did. It was a pretty good price too, so I will link everything below that I used if I can find it. If I can't find it, I'll just put what I can find. I like these little journals. The pages are very thin, but that's okay. I've worked with thin pages before, and usually I layer with papers and paint and stuff like that. And if something rips or tears, I'll just put some tape down or something. But I like the fact that they are stitched. They're bound together with stitching. They're not stapled, so you're not going to have any problems with staples. So I printed my printable on a very lightweight cardstock. This is what copy paper looks like when you flip it and bend it. And this is a little bit heavier than that, but it's still real flexible. So I just wanted to show you that. You can print it on any weight paper that you want though. I just wanted to show you what I used. So I've opened my book in the center and laid it out flat. And I just put some papers behind the covers so that if I was to glue or paint, I don't get anything on the pages and they stick to the cover. I don't wind up doing much of that, so just a little gluing. So I really didn't need the papers, but it's helpful. And I'm just looking through the papers and deciding which one I want to cut out. And I'll show you what the original journal page looks like. This is my All Because of Scraps book. I have a little one and a big one. The big one is finished and I have to start a new one. This is the little one. And I just throw all kinds of scraps and paint and things in there just for playing and for inspiration. But this is what the page looks like in real life and what the printable was designed after. And that black strip that I'm pointing at is just a piece of canvas. I created a canvas a long time ago and I just decided to take it off of the frame and tear off pieces and use. And the reason I'm showing you that is because I'm going to show you more pieces of that later on and you'll know what I'm referencing when I show it to you. So I cut out the piece that I decided to use off of that page and it fits right on top of the journal cover just perfectly. I don't have to do anything to it. And at this point, I remember trying to decide if I wanted to paint the covers or just leave it the craft paper look, and I decided to leave the craft paper and not do any painting. So I'm going to try a few things and see what I want to put on the cover, and then I'll glue it all together. But I wanted to put one of these girls on there, so I'm just testing out the girls, seeing which one I like the best. I was thinking I wanted to use the short girl with no legs there, and so I was going to try to get a flower and stick her down and behind it, but I didn't wind up doing that. I did pick a sheet that you do not have in your sheet if you've got this downloadable. It's one of the test sheets that I was telling you about earlier on. So, but I decided I wanted to use that flower. But if you do have the printable, or when you do finally get the next link for the printable in an email, you can use that flower because it is on your printable. It's just in a different shape, or a different size card. So I decided that I want to use that flower on the card, but I'm not going to use that girl. I decide that I'm going to use the girl with the polka dot dress. Pulled out 2 little containers that I keep scraps in. I'm going to go through there and see if there's anything in there that I want to add onto my card. The bowl has words and shapes for the most part in it, and what I'm wanting to find the most is leaves, but I do find things as I go along that I kind of give a test and see if I like it, and I don't wind up using most of everything I pick up. I do find a couple of pieces that I save out to the side and they go on later in another area, and I'll show you that when we get there. I tried this big leaf to see if I liked it, but it was too big. I could have cut it down, but I decided not to. I like this. I was going to cut it into a leaf shape, but at some point I actually found 2 leaves in there that were just hanging around loose, and I used those. As I'm digging through, I see a piece of canvas from the canvas that I just talked about earlier, where I cut a strip off and put it on my journal page. So I'm going to bring the journal page back over and show you real quick. Right there, that strip, it was just from a canvas. It was the edge of it. This flower came off that canvas. I had made a bunch of sponge stamps and just pounced it all over the canvas and made flowers and things, and that's one of the flowers that I cut out. And in just a second, I'll pull out another piece of that canvas. It's another flower shape. So you get an idea of what you can do with canvases that you may not like, or you just ready to cut them up and use them for something else. One day these will be used in something and they'll be perfect for it. It's not that I love them so much, it's just that they'll be perfect for something someday. And I found another little circle that was in there. That's from the same canvas. I'm showing that to you. And not the green one, but the black one in my left hand. I'm showing you the green one is a different canvas. The one in my, well, it's in both hands now. The black one is another piece of that canvas that I keep talking about. And I think in the video at this point I said, okay, we get it, give it up, let it go. I said, okay, I'll let it go, and we moved on to something else. And you can see the two little leaves that I decided to use behind the flower. I just put them there until I'm ready to glue them down. So I'm deciding what to put on the back cover. I picked the piece that I want to use. I cut it out, and it's the square or rectangular looking shape, and I'm taking the card from the front cover and I'm just putting it on the back, and I'm going to cut out the same shape because it'll fit perfectly on the back cover. I pulled out my washi tape boxes because the girl on the front is just sort of hanging in midair, and I wanted to put something under her feet to kind of ground her to the card, and I'm just looking for a tape that I like. I came across this fabric tape that's a little green and white stripe. I really liked it, so I decided I was going to use that on the front of the card. I keep pulling out the sticker sheet because I really wanted to use a sticker, but it didn't work well on the front, so I do wind up using one in the back. So I just started gluing everything down. I'm using a glue stick. The back of my washi tape is a little sticky, but not much because it's old. So I decided to put a little bit of glue to help it stick down. I'm showing you the scrappy tape that I used on the back of my girl and the card. I sometimes just get it in my head that I want to use tape and glue together. I don't always. I sometimes just use glue. And it just is a mood thing, and it depends on what it is I'm doing. And I just decided today that I would use some scrappy tape. It's the same thing as score tape, works the same. I just happen to have scrappy tape on hand, but if you have score tape or any kind of double-sided tape, it'll work. I decided to do a little bit of distressing around the girl with some Tim Holtz walnut stain distress ink, and I'm going to put glue on the back of the girl now on top of that tape and put it down. One thing about using the tape on something is that tape is a one and done. It's not a repositionable tape. So I do like to use glue on top of it, like a glue stick, because then it gives me time to put my piece down and slide it around a little bit, and the tape doesn't grab and stick and hold. If I don't have any glue on it and it's just plain tape, that tape will grab to the paper and you can't peel it up, unless you're using a repositionable tape, and I was not. I'm trying to decide what to put on the back cover now, and I have a stamp that I bought recently with my name on it, and I printed out a test print to see if I liked it, and then I stamped on the back. So I'm going to tear that off the paper and test it on the back cover and see if I like it. I decide not to put it on the back cover, but I do wind up using it on the inside back cover. I decide it's time to glue down everything on the front cover, so I glued all the pieces to my front piece, and I put tape on the back, and I'm going to glue it down to my cover. I think that turned out really cute. I like it a lot. I was telling you the spine, I could have put a fabric spine on it if I had not put everything up next to the edge of the book and made a little cover on the side. I'm just showing you with a piece of canvas. I would probably use fabric, but if you moved everything over to the right a little bit, it would be really cute with a binding on it, but I didn't do that. And I'll make another one with binding. I'm thinking of making one with fabric. That'd be fun. So I decided to keep the pack really simple. I put the card down, and then I put a circle and then a heart in the middle of it. And then I'm taking that stamp image that I printed and putting it on the inside cover, and I really like the results. I'm going to put something in the front cover now. I decided to use that half girl image that I liked. I took a piece of scrap that I liked and I just put her on top of it just to give her a little color in the background, and I glued it together and glued it to the back cover. I chose one of the stickers off that sticker sheet that I kept picking up through the whole video because I wanted to use a sticker so bad, and I just chose Go For It because the front of the cover has the word mindset on it. It's in the paper itself. So it always will remind me to go for it and to have a good mindset about what I'm doing, to just try to go for it. You never know what'll happen. You might like it. Just give it a try. So during the process of looking through my scraps, I pulled out some tabs and a little tag that I had torn off and used in another project, and I decided to glue those into my book. I'm taking a second to show you the punch that I would have used if I was going to create another tab, and I'll try to find it and put a link below for you guys in case you're interested. Okay, all the tabs are glued in. I'm just going to take a little piece of ribbon that I've got and stick it in the hole of that little tag and just give it a pop of color on the outside of the book. I think that's really cute. This was a lot of fun to make. You'll probably see it pop up in a video every once in a while as I create in it. And I will be making more for sure. I definitely want to make a fabric one. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check the links below in the description to check out the workshop. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter so that the next time I send out a newsletter, you get the link for the free gifts that I'm going to be giving out as bonuses to my email subscribers as a thank you. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.